chance then to consult with counsel. Mr. Austin, how are we proceeding on this?
Your Honor, Mr. Lauer will be admitting to the violations.
Is that correct, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. Mr. Lauer, as I told you before, you have the right to a contested hearing. If you plead guilty, you won't have a contested hearing, and you'll be giving up the rights that go along with it. That includes the right to have the allegations proven, the right to have the witnesses against you appear at the hearing and to be able to cross-examine them, the right to have this court order any witnesses that you might have to appear at the hearing, and also the right to testify yourself at the hearing if you wanted to. Do you understand those rights?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has anyone made any promises to get you to plead guilty?
No, Your Honor.
Anyone used any threats or other kinds of pressure?
No, Your Honor.
Are you pleading guilty because you believe you did violate probation?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so let's go back to mid-July of this year. Did you fail to report?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, have you not reported at all since then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and then did you do your substance abuse assessment?
No, Your Honor.
And how about enrolling at Adam? What happened with that?
Enrolling with Adam, I did not do that either. The substance abuse assessment, I'm not sure where I was supposed to get that.
Okay, but you didn't do a substance abuse assessment, correct?
No, I never got a chance to. I didn't know where to start, actually. So,
Okay. What happened with the address that you gave on July 7? Was it
Uh,
a false address?
I was actually supposed to be living there, but at my mother's house at 611 Lathrop. But I ended up being homeless there for a minute. And then me and my girlfriend broke up. I went back to there.
Okay, so you were not living where you thought you would be living.
Exactly.
Did you give the wrong address then to your agent?
Yes, I did.
Okay. The court finds the plea is understandingly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. It is supported by the testimony. The plea of guilty is accepted, and Mr. Lauer is found guilty of probation violation. Is there a recommendation, Agent Russ?
Yes, Your Honor. So when the defendant was placed on probation, he immediately absconded from probation. He reported in one, take a look for his last violation, but didn't report in. He absconded for a few months. He picked up a domestic violence charge. I think he was given another chance on probation in order to complete 60 days jail, scram, outpatient treatment, and these services. When he was released, he contacted me. He gave me his mother's address. I believe he also had a girlfriend at the time. I said that this is the address he's maintained, that this was the address that he was staying full time. And when I went there after he absconded, his mother said he never moved in to that residence. Unfortunately, this is just the same pattern he did with when he was on probation in Clinton County. He doesn't report into probation. He doesn't do any of the services we ask him to do. He was given clear directions about substance abuse, where to get that substance abuse assessment. He did this exact same pattern in Clinton County right prior to this probation. I don't think there's much we can really do for him. If he doesn't want to come to probation, if he doesn't want to show up to any of this, there's no services we can provide with him unless he actually wants to do the services, actually wants to participate with probation. He looks like when he was arrested, he was found with methamphetamine and a firearm, and he's facing new charges for those. So right now he's facing domestic violence charges, new possession charges, and a weapons charge. At this point, I don't think there's anything like that either the defendant or the court would benefit by continuing this case. His guidelines are 0 to 21. He has 69 days total jail credit. I recommend 365 days jail with 69 days time served, probation revoked.
All right, thank you. Mr. Austin?
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Mr. Lauer certainly had his ups and downs and troubles while on probation. There's no denying that. As it relates to the new charges, obviously the presumption is that he did not commit them. But I think most, probably if not all of Mr. Lauer's, prior, issues, including his struggles on probation, I think can be, traced back to his problems with drugs. And he does have that self-realization that he doesn't make excuses for that. He realizes that he has a drug problem, and I think he struggles a lot on the outside with that, and with perhaps picking the wrong peers to be hanging around. So, and I think that he could benefit from some type of uh, inpatient residential treatment. He tells me that he's never had that. I would ask the court to strongly consider a lower amount of incarceration than what is being recommended. I would ask that any incarceration the court imposes not exceed 6 months. And if there is a spot available, if he could serve that time in a residential treatment facility for alcohol, I think that would be a better approach towards getting to the root of this problem. And therefore, hopefully he can get a handle on things and stop having these issues, because if it continues to go unaddressed, then I think he's going to find himself in this continuous cycle. But he does need that help, and he wants that help. And if the court can do that, I would ask the court to strongly consider doing that in lieu of just straight incarceration. Thank you.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Lauer, is there anything that you wanted to say?
No, I have nothing else
No?
to say, Your Honor. Thank you.
Okay. Well, it's not our first go-round here, and I do think that Mr. Lauer is in need of inpatient treatment, but this has been, it's now, I would call, a pattern, so I do have to agree with the agent, and I think that at this point, the only thing I can safely provide for Mr. Lauer is the kind of inpatient treatment that would take place with him in custody, so at the jail, so essentially. So I'm going to revoke probation and sentence you, and that's revoke 7411 as well, because that was granted in this case, and sentence you to 365 days in jail with credit for 69 days already served. Participate in the CAPS program at the jail, and the bench warrant is dismissed. And Mr. Lauer, you have the right to file an application for leave to appeal your conviction and your sentence in this matter. You're entitled to an attorney at public expense to assist you in doing that, and if you are making a request for one, you have to make it within 42 days of today's date. It explains that more on the form that we will mail to you. You should just know that the time period starts running from today. Okay? Do you have any questions, Mr. Lauer?
No.
Okay, then you can tell them at the jail there that you are all set.
Okay, thank you.